This is the wall supported reach with passive FAIR from Postural Restoration Institute. What we're going to do to set up here is get against a wall, and we need to have something like a chair we can reach away from us and a ball that allows our knees to stay in line with our hips. So the object isn't too big, pushing our knees out, and it's not too small, having our knees collapse excessively in. It should be something like that ball or a pillow that allows everything to stay in line. So to start, we'll be about 1 foot length away from the wall. So that'll be your own individual foot size. Get the heel in line with the toe and then square up your stance. Now, if you have some internal rotation range, we're going to get our feet ever so slightly outside of our knees. So about 10 to 15 degrees of internal rotation is enough for most people, but you could do more if you have more internal rotation mobility. Just don't go outside your active internal rotation range. And what we're going to do here is get our whole back flat against the wall to start, with the chair right out in front of us. Okay, now here's the really important part. When we reach this chair away from us, we want to protract our shoulders and get our ribs back and not just lean forward. We do not want to lean. So imagine my hand is on your back and you're pushing your ribs back into my hand as you reach the chair away from you. Notice how he got some rounding in his upper back. That's what we want. We want to do that without shrugging the shoulders. So this is the biggest mistake. We're going to go over this one more time, all right? So back is flat against the wall, and then he's going to reach the chair as he pushes his hand, his ribs back into my hand like that as he protracts like so, and he doesn't want to shrug as he does that. Okay. Now he should feel some flexion and rounding in his back. If he can, not everyone needs to do this, but if you can, try to get a little tuck of your pelvis. So that way you have a posterior pelvic tilt and your tailbone comes slightly off of the wall. So what you should feel on the wall is your low back and part of your mid back on that wall. So you can see Trevor's got some space off the wall here and on his tailbone. Okay, now he's in a good position. Keeping his weight in his heels, he's going to exhale through his mouth as he maintains that reach through the chair. The chair is that reference to keep his ribs back as he pushes it away slightly. He's going to do about a 5 to 10 second soft exhale. Now, at the end of that exhale, he's going to feel his side abs engage. He's going to maintain that tension in his side abs as he closes his mouth and then just gently and slowly inhales through his nose for about 5 seconds. General rule is I should hear you exhale and sigh out the air, but I should not hear you inhale. Now for some, the biggest limitation in this exercise is going to be an inability to fully exhale in this position. It's going to feel hard for them. So by getting a balloon in our mouth, we can cue a better and fuller exhalation. So we're going to hold that balloon, usually in the left hand, and reach with the right. So everything stays the same in terms of how we're reaching that chair and pushing our ribs back. It's now just with one arm. Now we're going to exhale and fully blow up that balloon to the extent that we can, and then we're going to pause and put our tongue on the roof of our mouth as fully as we can to prevent air backflow back into our mouth. Then we're going to slowly, subtly inhale through the nose without shrugging the shoulders. We should feel our back open up. Exhale again, get all that air out, and we're going to make sure that we're getting our side abs at the end of that exhale. Pause, and then inhale through the nose. As a progression, if you're able to, give that ball just about a 3 out of 10 squeeze, and this can help get your pelvis in a better position as well. But don't do this until you've mastered the first part of this. The most common mistake on this is people are going to shove their head forward as they go through this instead of pushing their ribs back. So remember that chair is there as a reference for you to get your ribs to go back. Imagine my hand is on your upper back and you're pushing your ribs back rather than your head forward. That's where that protraction comes into play. And the last thing is that people will have a tendency to dump their neck down and shrug their shoulders. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, your head stays relatively up in a position that's comfortable for you to breathe in. And the last thing is people are going to go on their toes, they're going to lose their inner heels. So make sure you keep your heels nice and flat there, and you're keeping your weight mostly on that rear foot throughout this exercise. Another really common mistake is people are going to stand up as they inhale because people don't like getting air into their backs and opening up that back rib cage space. They're so used to getting it in the front that when they inhale, they're just going to stand up. Make sure you maintain the intention to reach while you inhale, and that'll really help you open up your back.